you at home, why the hell are you sat as the president?
Absolutely.
Well, hello, Mr. President.
Well, it just seems like this is the best seat to sit in, I think. You know, this is where all the powerful people sit. And so I guess this is where I must be. So in Saints Row 4, in today's demo, we've actually got a few things that we were able to unveil today. The first thing is that we've shown one of our early levels where you actually are the president of the United States. And we want to show, you know, what's it like to be the president and show a few things off. And then from there, what we do is we show the alien invasion.
Swing by after I...
So you'll find the aliens actually coming in and abducting all of the saints along with the president himself.
I'm smarter than all these people.
Delightful.
Kenzie, no! Protect the president!
I do love your spirit, my dear. I'm Zinyak. Pleasure to meet you. Would you like to join me for a ride?
And then what we do is we kind of fast forward much further into the game where we give you a bunch of different superpower upgrades, and you get a chance to see what it's like to use these awesome abilities and be able to navigate through the world. So we've got a bunch of new weapons today. The first big one that we showed was the black hole launcher. And it operates pretty much exactly like it sounds, where it will send off this blast of energy, creates a small black hole, and sucks everything into it and destroys it. We also have a laser sword that we've introduced, where you'll walk up to a bad guy, swing the sword, and it just disintegrates him immediately. Purple isn't your favorite color. There's a number of different ones to choose from, as each weapon has different weapon skins and costumes that you can select.
That's why I get paid the big bucks.
And then, of course, our fan favorite that we've recently unveiled with the dubstep gun. It's been awesome for us to be able to get the controller in people's hands and let them experience the awesome power of the dubstep gun. Got all these superpower abilities, and so how do we balance all this given the fact that you're almost like this god in the world? And we have these aliens now that also have their own superpower abilities, and they have their own sort of way of trying to fight the player and counter some of the player's abilities. And so it's been a fun way for us to be able to add some variety in terms of the gameplay, but also help balance it out. Because the superpowers were the first things we developed in Saints Row 4 in terms of our new feature set. And we talked about the fact that if you've got a bunch of these gang members that you're fighting against still, it's going to be kind of hard to balance a game because, you know, you're just constantly flinging gang members around. But you've got these very exotic aliens that you've got to fight, and they're definitely a tough foe. So that's been the way that we've helped balance this out. So one of the things we've also shown in our E3 demo are clusters, and it's these blue glowing bits that are scattered throughout the world. And what those are is they are upgrades for your superpower abilities. So again, what we're showing you now in the E3 demo is a fairly upgraded player. But what you'll do is, as you get a superpower, there's a ton of different ways you'll be able to upgrade that superpower, and the clusters are the currency you use to be able to upgrade. So you'll be able to go up on rooftops. There's certain ones that are blockaded by, like, there's an energy gate around it, and you have to use telekinesis to bust it open. But you don't get telekinesis until you've advanced through the game for a little bit. So the point is that as you become more powerful and get more superpowers, then you're going to be able to get those clusters a little more easily, which you then in turn use to upgrade those superpowers. So it's a really fun little cycle there where you're constantly gathering clusters, upgrading your powers, and just making yourself more powerful in the process. So our upgrade path through the superpowers, it starts off pretty simple, where you have super sprinting and super jumping. Those are the first ones that you get. Helps you navigate through the city in a really fun and interesting way. And as you play through the critical path, that's where you're going to get some of the foundational superpowers. So when you get things like Blast, which is the ability to freeze enemies solid, you'll get that in the critical path. But then in the open world, there's a number of different quests that you'll be able to do, and that's when you're going to be able to upgrade those superpowers. So I can do everything from the amount of damage that Blast does, to how quickly it recharges, to how much of the area that it will affect when I fire it off. There's just a bunch of different ways that I can upgrade that. But then also there's unique additions to it that you'll be able to get through the quest. So to give you an example, again with Blast, I'll be able to go and do quests, and when I complete the quests, I'll get an upgrade like, say, Fire Blast. So it's a different element that I'll be able to apply to my blast. So whereas the default version will freeze you solid, but it won't do any specific damage to you. You would need to do melee attacks or shoot them in order to do damage. I can do this fire one, and what that will do is it will actually apply damage to them. And they'll be, moving around on fire, makes it a little bit of an easier target to shoot, but not quite as easy as when they're frozen solid. And so there's just a ton of different, that's just one example of a ton of different upgrades that you'll be able to do with the superpowers in the game.
The Maven of Mascot Mayhem has teamed up with the Conqueror of Countless Galaxies to create an all-new Genki experience.
Our contestant has gained the power of telekinesis, but they will have to master the power of the mind to complete the challenges ahead of them today.
So our release date for Saints Row 4 is August 20th, and it's going to be on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC.